Joined by Stuart Bannigan. How are you doing, mate?
How you doing?
Very good. Just want to start off by asking you your early football memories.
I remember playing for a local team in Bishopbriggs, where I'm from. I remember playing for a team called Roseville, and we were turning up there on a Saturday morning for a game. About 7-8 years old, and my dad taking me to the game and stuff like that. But I don't really remember clearly certain incidents, but I do remember turning up on a Saturday morning and enjoying my football.
And how did you first start getting introduced to academies or pro youth?
I was at Roseville for about half a year, and I was about 8-9, and a Hearts scout was at one of the games, and I ended up going to Hearts first for a year or so, under 10s it was. I went there for a wee while, and then a year at Hearts, ended up at Celtic for 4 or 5 years at academy level from under 11s through to 15s.
And what's your best memories of, firstly joining Partick Thistle? What's your best memories of being in the academy there?
Thistle?
Yeah.
So many. Honestly, I've had incredible memories. The people you meet along the way and the friends you make. Probably we won the under-19 youth cup, and that was with a group of boys that we were YTSs together, and all sort of close friends. Still get my best pal now, Kyle. He was playing that team as well. Ended up playing a couple of games in the first team for Thistle. So just all the wee things, the memories you make with people, and it's the start of your journey, the sort of youth sort of pathway, and it's great times.
And what was the transition like for the academy to the first team at Thistle?
Oh, difficult. It's like anything. I think you think you're a million miles away for being sort of anywhere near it. You see these players, and you think they're absolute miles better than you, and you're never going to get a chance. But you just need to keep working at it, and always say you need a wee slice of luck as well with things happening for you. And luckily I got my chance, but it is a definite step up, and it's a dog-eat-dog world. So if you don't adapt, you'll be quickly at the door, and you'll not get a chance again. So it's very important when you do get that chance, or that first chance, when you're a youth player, that you certainly make an impression.
And how did you first find out about you were getting your debut against Clyde?
I can remember. I remember being in the squads a few times, and I didn't actually know I was going to make my debut because I was on the bench. I think I came on for 20 minutes to 25 minutes towards the end of the game, and just getting the shout to come on, you've not got time to think about it, and you're just on there, and you're just so excited to be a part of it. I don't think I touched the ball many times, to be honest with you, probably 4 or 5 times in the game, but a good experience to have, and I was thankful to the manager Ian McCall at the time to give me my debut at 17.
You ended up going out on loan to Ayr. What do you think the main benefits of that were?
Oh, it was amazing. I remember clearly the call for the manager. I'd played a couple of games for Thistle, just about to turn 18, and the manager said to me, I don't think you'll play a lot of games in our first team. He says, but you can go and loan to Ayr United, and Ayr at the time were only the league below, and challenging for the league as well. So it wasn't much of a step down. Ayr United a sort of a good club as well. So I went there, and it turned out to be such a sort of unforgettable experience for me. Ended up getting promoted at the end of the season. Had a good Scottish Cup run. My game on Sky against Hibs. We ended up beating Hibs in the Scottish Cup. Just so many great memories, and the older players there were so good with me. They helped me along the way and taught me what it's like to play sort of senior football, and it was a quick learning curve.
I think that loan spell helped you go back to Thistle and kick on that next again season.
Well, it helped me kick on in my career sort of further down the line, not straight away, because I came back the year after hoping to be playing, and I was in and out of the team really. I didn't play as much as I would have liked. That was under Jackie McNamara, I think, his first season. I didn't play, and I was thinking maybe my future wouldn't be at Thistle if I wasn't going to get the game time. But I stuck at it. But no doubt about it, the experience at Ayr and playing at such a young age and challenging for titles and good Scottish Cup runs was a sort of a major benefit for me.
And the season after that, like you say, when you started to kick on, these were brilliant that season, ended up winning the league. What do you think it was about that squad that made it special to go on and win the league?
Well, there was so many players that had been, let go for senior clubs at a higher level. Stevie Lawless had been let go, not let go for Motherwell, but wasn't really getting a game for Motherwell. Conrad Balatoni at Hearts, Sean Welsh at Hibs. Boys with a bit to prove, and they had great ability as well. And we gelled together. We were a young team, had a couple of experienced pros, and Stevie Craig and Hugh Murray as well, guys like that, Paul Payton, who were helping the younger players. But we were a group who had a lot to prove, and it was a special time. We sort of hit the ground running at the start of the season. We won the first 6 games, and we were on our way for there.
That same season, Alan Archibald ended up getting the job. I think it was around January time, wasn't it?
Yep, I just at the turn of the year, Jackie McNamara had been also doing a good job with us, and we found out he was taking the Dundee United job, so we were a bit gutted with that. But Archie came in. He was a player at the time, Archie, and he came in and just took over. He didn't change too much, kept it sort of similar, and he done a magnificent job. He never got beat all the way through his tenure towards the end of that season, and took us up. So both of them did a great job in their own way. They were different, but both of them got results, and Archie managed to get us over the line.
Was that a bit strange for the players having your captain at the time then step into the management role?
A little bit. Probably more strange for him. He's the one that needs to deal with it, and you know what I mean. He needs to go and sort of go for one of the players to picking the team every week, and letting people down. So listen, he stepped into it, effortlessly, and he never looked back. And I thought he was a fantastic manager for Thistle.
And at what point did you start believing that you could go on and win the league?
Well, if I remember correctly, we had probably I think we were about 12 points behind, but we had 4 or 5 games in hand. So there was quite a lot of games cancelled that year. So all we knew we were there or thereabouts. Probably, the big point was the Morton game at home against them. First v second. I think there was 5 points in it at the start of that night to us. So if Morton had won that game, it's back to 2 and it's game on. So we knew, if we won that game that night, know that it was done, but we were near enough there.
It's a sellout crowd as well, pretty much that night as well. Eh?
No, it was amazing. I remember it so clearly. We'd done the warm up, and we'd get told off the security that the game had to be sort of delayed for 15 minutes to let the crowd in, and you could sense the atmosphere sort of building. It was a nervy night, and it wasn't. I don't think it was a great spectacle, to be honest with you. It ended up 1-0, but nobody really remembers the actual game. They just remember the scenes when we scored that goal and when we got the win.
And how big was that for Thistle as a club to get to the Premiership?
Oh, amazing. And, it just validates everything you're doing as a club. To go up and compete against the best teams in the country and try and prove yourself. For the club, it's great, and for the players as well. We want to be playing as high as we can. So it was that was special times.
What were the main differences that you noticed between the First Division at the time and the Premiership? A big step up, or?
Truthfully, not really. There is a step up, no doubt about it. A step up in class. Teams, punish you more. They've got obviously better quality at the top end of the pitch, but I felt we adapted to it pretty well as a team. We went in with no fear, and I remember the first game of the season we went up was against Dundee United on the Friday night. On I think it was on maybe on Sky or one of the, I can't remember, BT or something, maybe Friday night game, and they're starting 11 that night. Not one person had played in the Premiership before that. It was all new. It was a new experience for us, and we gave a Dundee United team a right good game. It was 0-0, but it could have easily been 2 each, 3 each with the chances that we both had. And when you look at Dundee United's team that day, they were no bad.
Do you think that helped you in a way? The fact that there was like nobody in the team had played like Premiership before. Maybe just going into with a point to prove, like you touched on earlier.
Yep, going in with a point to prove, going in blind, not really knowing what you're expecting. Sometimes when you overthink things, it makes it worse. Maybe if boys had played in the Premiership before and been doing the bottom end and knew it was going to be a grind, but we never knew what it was. We never knew anything. It was a brand new experience for all of us, and we really enjoyed ourselves.
And what targets did you set in the first year in the Premiership?
I've never really been a big team sort of setting targets. I think we were just happy to stay up. But when we started the season, we started really well. We drew United and then we beat County away. And then I think a real killer blow for us was the third game. Again, it was a Friday night game against Hearts. We were 1-0 up, played really well that night. And I think Hearts scored in the last couple of minutes to equalise. And we'd have been top of the league after 3 games. It'd have been amazing. So we had a good start, and we knew we could compete against most of the teams. But then you go through a wee sort of spell halfway through, you're not picking up enough points, and you end up doing a dogfight in that first season. But we knew we had enough to get out it.
You said, touched on a wee bit there, the fact that you started well. Do you think momentum for the previous season kind of carries you through to that?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going in confident. And the good thing about Archie as well that year, he didn't change too much. He brought in a couple of players, but he sort of kept near enough the full team that had won the first division, and gave us a chance to go and show what we could do. And when you get that sort of belief for the manager that he's no changing everybody out because they've not played in the Premiership before, you get that belief in you. And we sort of we had a real sort of close group. And most of us all still talk to this day. So it's just shows you, team spirit can go a long way.
And he's like you say, you ended up staying up for a few seasons after that, and then ended up kicking on into the top 6. Was that always an aim of yours, to try and consolidate the position in the league and then kick on there, or?
It was just, I think every year I've not really been a big believer in the top 6, to be honest with you. I don't really see the point in it, to be honest. I don't know. Listen, it was a good achievement. Aye, it was a good achievement getting in it, but you're not really going to look back and say you finished 6. You know what I mean? It's not really a thing you're going to be overly buzzing about. But people sort of draw the comparisons and see. Listen, obviously the league gets split into 2 6s, so if you're in the top 6, it gets talked about a bit more. So it just showed that we were improving each year. There was an improvement every single year we were up. First year we'd just sort of stayed up with the skin of our teeth. Next year a bit more comfortable. Year after even more comfortable. I think even the year before we got top 6, we missed out in the top 6 by a goal, I think it was, or a point. The last game before the split, we'd went up to Ross County and get beat 1-0. I think if we just drew that game, we'd have got top 6. So we weren't far away. We were no bad team, but I wouldn't be sitting, celebrating.
What do you think it was that kind of put you in that position? Was it good recruitment, just season after season, just building?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Again, we kept sort of a core of players that had been there from the first division. But you always need to chop and change, and people come and go at football clubs. That's what happens. But absolutely, recruitment was good. Brought in a few cracking players. I've touched on a couple. Callum Higginbottom I thought was outstanding for us when he came in. He came in the first year. A real quality player and excited the fans. I think he even speaks about it now. That's probably his favourite spell in football. It's probably at Thistle. He regrets leaving. So he was a cracking player. I could name a few more as well. It's all about getting the right people in as well, not just good players. They need to be the right sort of characters.
And around that time as well, you started to get a lot of speculation about you in terms of moving on. But I think injuries ended up killing it a wee bit. How difficult was that for you at that time?
I was really disappointing. I was at a contract in the summer. This would have been the summer of 2016. So around about December 2015, I could start speaking to clubs about, pre-contracts and stuff like that. I spoke to a few teams, went and spoke to Derek McInnes, Aberdeen, went down to Barnsley's training ground, spoke to Lee Johnson. He was their manager. They were looking to get me. But I was just weighing up my options, I wasn't quite sure where I was wanting to go. And ended up getting injured in March away at Tynecastle. just a strange movement, and my knee gave way, and I was out for a long time, and that sort of scuppered my chances that I moved then. But I just a bit of bad luck at the wrong time for me.
The season after the top six, you ended up getting relegated. What do you think went wrong that season?
Oh, I don't know. I look at the squad, and I still think they were good enough to stay up. Just touching on individual moments. I remember, I'd hardly played. I think I played the first couple of games of the season, and then ended up missing near enough the full season. So I was sitting watching on the sideline, really frustrated. Just obviously my own situation as well, but what you're seeing on the park. A lot of last minute goals, and I remember a game at Hamilton, I think, at home. I think they scored 2 goals late on, changed the result from 1-0 to us to 2-1. And we ended up finishing in the playoff that year on goal difference to the team, above us. So a point either way, and you're still in the Premiership. So it's small margins. But the league table doesn't lie at the end of the season, and we were loitering down the bottom and probably deservedly went down.
Just on the playoffs, I want to ask you, what's your thoughts kind of on the playoff structure?
I like it. I'm not sure about the team finishing second. The team finishing fourth has to play third, and then they play second. I don't know. I think they could work it a wee bit better with that. But again, I suppose if you finish second, you deserve a wee bit of an easier draw than the team that finishes fourth. I don't know. I just always feel it's a wee bit harsh on the team that's fourth and third. Playing all the extra games, we'll end up needing to play 6 games in the space of a couple of weeks, which is a bit daunting. But no, I do like it. It's much better than what it was. Remember years ago before the SPFL, there was only one team up and one team down from the Championship up to the Premiership. So it's exciting, and it's great games at the end of the season.
Do you think there was do you think the odds are kind of stacked towards the Premiership team?
Of course they are. But, you only need to play one tie. The team, as I said, the team that's fourth and third needs to play 3 ties to get 3 2-legged ties. To get where they want to be. So it's heavily stacked in their favour. So maybe as a wee something they could do, but I'm not quite sure what that would be. And listen, I don't know if the teams in the Premiership would even vote for it, because it would put them in danger. So
end up getting relegated back to the Championship. Season after that, season gets cut to a close because of COVID. You were in the unfortunate position. Just how hard was that? Because it probably wasn't fair with the way it ultimately ended.
Well, it wasn't fair, was it? It was an absolute disgrace, really. The team, the team that was above us, 2 points above us, but we had a game in hand. So I still really don't know how they came to that decision that they can relegate a team. When we've still got a game to play, it doesn't make any sense. But we always did think that somehow they come to their senses and the right decision would get made, but it didn't happen. And a shocking decision that I think 100% of fans would agree on our side that we were harshly treated.
Like pretty much every fan in Scotland would probably say the same.
There's not even a debate about it. It's just a terrible decision that didn't need to get made. There could have been a way about it for at least a year or two, just to help the teams that were down the bottom. But listen, I think we could have maybe accepted if we are, bottom of the league, and we'd all played the same games. You could maybe accept that, but with a game in hand and only 2 points in it, it's just so unfair.
What were the boys saying in the dressing room at that time? Because it must have just been absolutely baffled with what was happening.
Oh, baffled. I remember it coming out that they were going to stop the leagues. So then we were thinking, right, we're going to do the reconstruction thing. And then I think it was the vote nonsense with Dundee and things like that, and the lost vote. And then that ended up getting scrapped. And then I think Thistle and Hearts went to court. We're thinking maybe a chance here. They never won the court case, so it just kept battering us down. And then after that, we sort of knew we were relegated into League One.
When that decision was made, do you think that you went down with almost like a point to prove, like firing the belly type thing to go back up?
Well, the manager made sure he drummed into us that we were harshly treated, and all the players knew it anyway. We knew that, we didn't deserve to be down there in that way. Listen, we might have ended up going down anyway, who knows, but in that way, and it voted down like that, we definitely had a point to prove, and we really had to try and make sure we got up at the first time asking, because if we stayed in there for too long, you could easily stay in there for 3, 4, 5 years, and it could really sort of hurt the club.
I think only 2 players stayed for that championship season. Do you think, it sounds a bit stupid, but do you think it was kind of, in a weird sense, a positive, the fact that you could kind of have a fresh rebuild and kick on this season?
Of course, but you obviously don't look at that at the time. You just look at everybody leaving, and it's just a shambles, and try to get bodies back in. But you're probably right, a fresh start away from sort of the team that sort of took us down for the Premiership and then down again, sort of, you know what I mean? So it was a fresh build completely, and we had to try and get the right people in to sort of elevate the club back up and sort of get us back to where we hopefully want to be.
Mine's won League One. Do you think it was joy, or do you think it was kind of maybe a relief, if that makes sense?
I think it was a bit of relief, to be honest. Listen, you're delighted to win a league. Any league's difficult, of course it is. And it's great times with people when you see the reaction of fans, and they couldn't make it that night, but they were up in the canal and out in the streets, and it was great. But for us, we were just delighted to get it over the line. We had quite a few injuries that night, if I remember correctly. Boys playing on sort of one leg, and we knew just if we got that result against Falkirk that night, it was done. So we were all out for that one game. I dread to think what would have happened if we didn't win it. But we were magnificent, and you're relieved to get it done, and sort of back up to the Championship where you felt you should have been the full time.
Back in the Championship this season, how are you looking back on the first half so far?
I think you'd have probably taken it at the start of the season where we are. I think we're pretty happy with the way it's went. Every team will look back and pick certain things that they've no done well enough, or certain moments that they felt they should have got more points. But overall, we're still right there. Only 6 points behind the now. We've got a game in hand against the top team, so it could easily be 3, and then you're right in the mix of going for it. So it's going to be extremely exciting. 5 teams at the top, all within striking distance of each other. It's going to come down to a bit of bottle and see who's got that.
I think in that League One squad before coming up, I think there was kind of like the potential to go for the playoff place with like a couple of quality additions.
Yeah, we always felt that even when we played in the year we won League One, we played a few games against teams in the higher leagues. We played St Mirren in the Cup, we played Dundee United, and we always felt we gave the teams a good game. So we certainly weren't scared of stepping up a level. We knew we could handle that no bother, but it's going out and getting a good start and really turning the momentum of winning the league before into the new season. And we won the first 2 games, and it sort of set us on our way.
I think there's a big gulf between League One and the Championship in terms of quality.
I don't know. It's no. I wouldn't say a big gulf. No, I wouldn't say a big gulf. There obviously is a step up in every sort of level you go, but I found League One pretty tough. Some good teams. Cove Rangers, brilliant team. I thought they were excellent last season. And Trowse as well. I thought they were really good as well. So there is good teams in League One that probably don't get the credit they deserve.
I want to ask you about the manager, Ian McCall. What's he like to work under? Seems like a bit of a legend.
Brilliant. He's brilliant. Keeps it pretty simple, but a great guy. Been around the game for a long time, and just a good figure to have at the club now. He gets what the club means. He's been here before. And he really wants to do well, and he drums into us that we've got to keep pushing, and we can't be thinking we're better than what we are. We need to go and prove it week after week, and a really good guy to have at the club.
Do you remember what his best team talk's been?
Listen, don't know if you can say the language that he uses on here, but he's
feel free.
He's prone to the old swear word at times, but I just what you said. Listen, he touches on He goes very, 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 very simple. Just honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that he comes out with. It's just go out and play, lads. It's just honestly so simple. And he even said it last week in an interview. I think that Archie and Scally, the two assistants, he says that they take all the training and he just sits and watches. I think he does himself a bit of a disservice with that, but he certainly makes sure before games that we're up for it. And he's a funny guy as well with some of the lines he says. I can't quite remember some of the stuff he says, but it's superb.
And what do you think it is about the environment at Thistle that's kept you there for so long?
I don't know. I just love it. I love it. It's brilliant. The people you meet along the way, and you've got close friends over the years through different squads that still keep in touch with. It's close to where I live as well, and it's a big club. Thistle are a big club. Let's not forget that. You see I've seen it firsthand when we've been in the Premiership. They get a really good crowd, and I just want to get back there, and I feel we can do it, but it's taking a bit longer than I hope. But hopefully we can do it in the next couple of years, and it'll be fantastic to get back there.
I'm hoping you do as well, mate, because I tipped you for the playoffs when Stevie Lawless came on. So my next one aligned with that. I did that.
What was he saying? He was probably saying no chance.
Huh?
What was he saying? He was probably saying no chance.
Nah, I think he agreed with me, to be fair.
Nah, because he knows that.
I don't think it would go down too well if he said no. But if it's all right with you, mate, we'll finish off with the quick fire questions.
Absolutely.
So, your best mate in football?
Best mate?
Best mate.
I've got a few, man. I've got a few. Is it just one person?
Just one, mate. It'll be brutal.
Oh, I'll be brutal. Probably go Stevie Lawless. Listen, we've been through years and years together. I was groomsman at his wedding and that, so probably Stevie. But I actually don't really like him at times.
The favourite goal you've scored?
We've scored many. Probably against Celtic in the Scottish Cup, even though we didn't win the game. Just to score against Celtic and have that was a good experience.
The best stadium you've played in?
Listen, probably Celtic Park. Probably a lot of people say Tynecastle, don't they? But
aye, a lot do.
Aye, probably Celtic Park.
The best player you've played against?
There's two. I need to give you two.
Right, okay.
Played against England under 21s years ago, right? We beat 6-0. It was an absolute doing. They were amazing. Harry Kane, Sterling, players like that. It was unbelievable, the team. When you look at it now, all of them are doing unbelievable. But Sterling and John Joe Shelvey were just different level, honestly. Shelvey's range of passing, amazing. You don't realise how tall he is as well, but 6'1". And Sterling was just electric with his pace, and too good for us on the night. But it was brilliant to see, what players are like at that sort of level.
The biggest moaner that you've played with?
So many. I don't know if people would call me a moaner, but biggest moaner. Stevie is a moaner, but probably Chris Erskine. Chris Erskine moans a lot at the referee, at a lot of things that he does. Probably Chris Erskine, even though he's one of the nicest guys you ever meet, but he moans on the park.
Your biggest achievement in football?
Biggest achievement? I don't know, probably coming back for being out for 2.5 years, I'd say. Probably coming back and having a good run at it. I'd probably say that.
And lastly, your best five-a-side team that you've played with and why?
Played with and why, right? And goals. Probably going to go a guy called Ryan Scully. Now, I don't know, he played for Thistle with me as a youth player. Played quite a few games for Thistle as well in the first team. But people will say some of his shot stopping is amazing. So him in the five-a-side goal would be pretty hard to get by. Probably Scully. Close second, maybe Paul Gallagher. I like Gal. Good experienced talker as well. But for just five-a-side, I'll go Scully. Who else am I going to go? Five-a-side. I'll go Stevie Lawless. Seems like I'm just mentioning him all the time, but he is a really good five-a-side player. I think he always says, five-a-sides was actually like a real thing, and he could make a living off it. He'd probably move to five-a-sides. But Stevie there. I'll go. I don't like to go too attacking the five-a-sides. I just think we don't track back a lot. So I'm going to try and get a couple of defenders in. Who's good at fives? Big Adam Barton would have been good. At Thistle, good at driving out for the back. Comfortable on the ball. Tough, isn't it? A lot of people stumble on this.
That's what I was saying to you before.
Because there's just so many people that I've played with that I just can't think about them now. So I've got Scully, Adam Barton, Lawless. Put myself in.
Put yourself in.
Put myself in. So I've got one more.
Aye, I've got somebody in mind, but I'm not saying.
Tell me.
I thought you would have O'Donnell.
Who?
Stephen O'Donnell.
Sod. But listen, brilliant career he's had, but I'm not sure he gets in this team. You know where I'm going to go? Potentially the best player I've played with. Potentially. Goes against my system, but I'm going to go for it. Scott McDonald.
Give you that.
He was so good. Couldn't believe how good he was when he came. Just probably single-handedly saved us one season with the goals he scored. And so what have I went? Scott McDonald, Lawless, Barton, me, Scully. I think that's not bad.
That's a good five.
That would do all right.
That'll be just fine, eh?
Aye.
Top man, mate. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Not a problem, mate. Thank you very much.